I'm Melissa.
And I'm Mike.
Welcome back
Welcome
to
back.
Game Time.
Game Time.
2025.
That's right. And this is our first episode officially in the year 2025.
Starting off with a Game Time.
Crazy. 2020. Think about that a minute, though. 2025. We are 1/4 of the way into this century. Just let that sink in a minute. Okay.
All right, let it
All
sink
right.
in. Now
That's
what?
enough. So this time we thought it would be fun. We're not actually playing a game. Could you make this into a game? No, we're not actually playing a game. So
We're going to
it's
quiz
kind
you
of
guys on our episodes,
yeah,
and
that's
whoever
right.
wins $100.
And you get one of our mugs.
All right, now that we have you listening.
Yeah, no, there's no $100, and I'm not giving up my mug either.
Me either.
But no, we wanted to go through, kind of talk about some of our favorite moments. We'll drop in some of the funnier parts that have happened through this first season of the A&M podcast. I think we both had a lot of fun doing this. You know, do you agree with that, or?
Yeah, I agree.
Does sound effect come through at time? I don't know. We added some sound effects. That was new for 2025.
New
We
sound
have
effects.
more sound effects. So
Thank goodness, because I was
Yeah.
getting tired of
Yeah, 'cause-
always.
yeah, or no, it was this. This was our wrong answer sound. So now we've got different wrong answer sounds and
But like, how do we
different
have
right
a
answer
Lil
sounds.
Jon button on our
I know,
original
I
board
know. I feel.
over?
I hope we don't
a
have to
buzz.
pay him royalties or something.
True.
I know. Why? You would think it would. I think. Well,
That's a buzz.
this one, right? Yeah, I could hear it all the way over here. That's what you deserve when you get a wrong answer, not Lil Jon
That's
yelling
what
at
you
you.
deserve.
So, I think
To move that.
I think just to start off, I think one of my favorite moments so far on the podcast has been something that happened on the very first episode, and it was we were having a discussion of I don't know if it was your favorite.
No, it was
movie.
you asked me my favorite movie.
Yeah. Okay.
And I said it was I Love You Man.
Well, you didn't know that's. Yeah, you did say it was I Love You Man.
Sorry guys, I'm still sick.
Right. Yes, still sick.
No, I said it was I Love You Man. I knew the title of it. And then you were like, "Oh, who's in it?"
Yeah.
And like now you're asking me too many questions.
And I said we'll drop the the segment in there after we talk about it a little bit. And I had said to you, "Oh, is the one guy from How I Met Your Mother in it?" And you said, "No," and you couldn't remember. And you said it was some guy from a superhero movie, but you couldn't remember who he was. And it was the only episode really that I've gone back and I'd like to there's a goal for this year is maybe try to do more of that kind of stuff that I on the video version of the podcast that I dropped in some little titling because yes, it was the guy from How I Met Your Mother, and I still can't remember his name. He's also on an Apple Plus series now.
And Ant-Man.
And Ant-Man. Yeah, so we dropped
Paul
those
Rudd.
in there. So that was was one of my Paul Rudd. Yeah,
Paul Rudd
that was one of my favorite moments, and we'll put that right here. Okay.
Oh, it's your turn now.
We are on question 6, by the way. What is / was your favorite movie of all time?
Favorite movie of all time is probably I really like I Love You Man. That's a really funny one. Have you ever seen that?
I haven't.
That one is so
Who's
good.
in that?
Gosh, what's his name? Oh my gosh. I can't think of his name. I'm gonna pull his picture up for you though.
Okay.
But
because it sounds familiar. I just don't. Is that with the guy from How I Met Your Mother? Is he in that?
no.
I'm thinking of a different movie.
No, it's not that one.
Okay.
I'll show it to you though.
Right.
I'm gonna be like
we'll like paste the picture somewhere in this.
Yeah.
In the video.
Because I'm thinking of his name and I can't think of. I know he played I think he played a superhero or something like that too. I don't know. But yeah, that's a really good one.
See, wasn't that funny?
I do like that.
That was fun. I don't know. But
No, that one was one of my favorites as well. I just don't know actor names like that.
yeah.
I guess like
See,
unless it's a
would
really
have.
known one.
I would have remembered Paul Rudd. I feel bad because I just think of the guy as Marshall because that was his name on How I Met Your Mother, and that's what I know him from. But you're gonna look it up now, and it was already in the previous
Okay, yeah,
clip
I
that
won't
we
look it
put
up.
on, so
True.
you don't need to do that. So what do you think? What
Okay,
was your
so
early favorite moments?
talking about our sound effect board
Oh,
that has been upgraded.
yeah, woohoo!
In the beginning when we were just trying to figure out our buttons and
Yeah.
like
Seeing-
listen guys, we don't have what you see is what you get.
Yeah.
Like we're not clipping the videos really. The only time we clip the videos, little peek behind the curtain, the only time the video gets clipped is if it goes over on our time and then we have to replay it and stuff like that.
It's a weird thing with the recording software we use. It stops at 40 minutes. So if we're a little longer than 40 minutes, we got to go
It
back.
cuts us off.
Yeah. Otherwise,
So
you get what you get.
you get what you get. Like if I'm getting up, if I'm coughing, if we're talking about something and we're going off on a rim, that's just what it is.
Yeah.
So when we were playing with buttons, we never really tested out our sound machine ahead of time.
Right.
So
I still forget. There's some button on here you can use, and it would change like my voice to a woman's voice. And I don't think we should do that now, but yeah, it exists on there. And then there's one that
we'll
makes
save
a
that for another
monster voice.
episode.
Yeah, we'll do a whole episode of playing with the buttons because now we have more buttons to play with.
That's true. Yeah, and we have more buttons set up.
Yeah, I enjoyed that one. That one's right here.
Oh, that's interesting.
Oh, you don't get a point for
That's
that one.
interesting
Sorry.
because everyone up until like the most recent generations were having babies so often. So I would assume.
Can we apologize for this, but what is this sound?
I'm dying.
What is it?
Listen.
Oh, sorry. Pardon the interruption. But okay. Do we do that?
It's a bird
Can we just?
noise.
All right. What's this one? Hold on.
Fly Eagles fly.
Do I have to hear them all? You can't
It's
just
still
describe
playing. Sorry for playing these twice.
them. Yeah. If you.
Keep it in your ear if you want to listen to one.
Wow. That's like that could be our new outro music. Okay. So, I think there was I think it was on our second episode. There was another moment that I thought was funny, which was we got into a discussion of like appetizers, and you had brought up that somebody pointed out that if you take a tortilla chip, it's what you take four
one tortilla equals 4 tortilla chips.
Right.
And someone's like, so I just ate 27 tortillas.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Which is so true. Oh, and cheese sticks. Cheese
and
sticks
cheese
too.
sticks,
Cheese
yeah.
sticks is another
tortillas
one.
and cheese
That
sticks.
it like when you think about what it actually is, you're like,
yeah, it's like I shouldn't be eating that.
Why did I just eat 8 cheese sticks by myself, like string cheese?
Exactly. Yeah, that was on our second episode, and that clip is right here.
It's the best, though. Yeah. Oh, and the tortilla chips.
Did
you ever see that thing? Yeah. It was on social media, and it was talking about tortilla chips, and somebody took like 4 tortilla chips and put them in a circle, and they're like, I've eaten 25 tortillas so far.
Yeah, right. That's true. That's true. Wow.
I was like, wow, yeah, not me just taking down whole tortillas.
Yeah, it's like that joke I think you told me this one where somebody said, no, maybe it was Brandon, where somebody said, hey, do you want to eat 4 cheese sticks? And you're like, no. And they go, hey, what about if I bread them, deep fry them, and give them to you with a side of marinara? And they're like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, give me a 10 count.
Yeah. It's like somehow you think of it differently depending on how you look at it.
So funny.
So what was your next one?
So my next one, I wrote them down. Oh my gosh. The toilet paper debate. And actually, I'm really glad
I agree. That is still one of my favorites.
I'm not saying that now I'm an over-the-roll toilet paper girl, but recently, I don't know how I think it's the way that where our toilet paper holder thing is.
Are you going to tell me you've been converted?
I haven't been converted. Oh. Let's not get crazy.
Okay.
But where our toilet paper thing is, it's kind of awkward. So, and it's like further down. So, with it being rolled under, sometimes it's a little awkward to get to. So, I haven't been converted, but I also
Oh, I
see,
can, I can, no, I can see that. I can see where that would be a problem. Yeah.
like at your house, it's up higher. So, it's like right there next to me and it's easy to grab. But because it's down further, it's kind of like weird
Yeah.
to just
Depending on the type of,
fiddle around
sure,
and find it.
that makes a lot of sense.
So, I haven't been converted, but I
But
see
but
how you guys
you
prefer the
see the other
over.
side of the toilet paper roll.
I
That's
also
good.
hate it over because when it rolls down, like it just stays down on the ground.
Yeah.
But y'all can listen to me talk about it
Yeah.
here. Should I think that toilet paper should go underneath, not over.
No, that's psychotic. That's
Mom
not that's
hates
not an
that
unpopular
too.
opinion. That's
She
psychotic. It's just that's
Why
anarchy.
is that?
No.
You know what? Actually, my unpopular opinion isn't even that it should go under more than over. I mean, I do think that. I will stand on that. But I also think that what is the huge debate about over and under? Because
Yeah.
I like it under. I prefer it under. I like that. But if it's over, I'm not also one of those people that's
Yeah.
like
I
you
just
keep
I
your
like
toilet
it.
paper over instead of under.
I like it just standing up so that I can take it and just you know. That's actually that's not true.
I purposely take it off the
Yeah,
roll.
I take it off the roll. How about this though?
Imagine if
I
someone
will
came to
say
your house and just started doing that every time.
if I go like to a hotel and I go in and it's by the way, props to the hotel people who always make that nice little arrow on the bottom. They fold the the first piece into that arrow. But if I go into a hotel and it's the wrong way, and it almost never is, because notice I said it's the wrong way. But I'll switch it.
Oh,
I'll switch it.
you can't really, thinking about it, I mean, you can't do the fancy designs if it is rolled under. So maybe that's why you don't like it. Because you can't get a fancy
That's
arrow
true.
design
Yeah,
if it's
that's true.
under
The
instead
arrow's
of
not good.
over.
That right there tells you that.
Enough.
Yeah, that proves that there is a right way.
People
and
feel
it's
real
over.
passionate about that,
Yeah.
about the way that toilet paper goes. I don't feel passionate about it, but I do prefer it under. I think you don't see it. So if somebody
So it's
tears it off, like
it's torn. Okay,
a
well,
jagged edge or something, you
yeah,
don't see it.
I could
That's
see,
not why I
I could
prefer
see your
it.
argument. Like that.
I think
That's
it rolls better if it's under as well.
see. I don't.
There's
That
just a lot of
I
things.
feel like it doesn't roll. That my reason has nothing to do with aesthetics of the arrow or anything like that. My opinion is based on the fact that when you pull, if it's under, it's gonna kind of get jammed on itself. If it's over, it's just
Oh, yeah, maybe. I don't know. I've never had that experience.
yeah. I mean,
And
it hasn't happened, but to me. But then again, it's always over. So, but
I've
it
noticed
seems like it would happen.
I've noticed that a lot of the people who feel passionate about it, they're over people.
They're over.
Like the ones that really like cause a fuss about it are the people who prefer it over.
Okay.
The people who prefer it under, I feel like we're more laid back about it.
Yeah. Okay. If you say so. You're probably right. You're probably right. No, that's probably right. I'm just realizing.
So I think it was in that same episode
Uh-huh.
we talked about Starbucks drive-through and the whole pay it forward thing
Oh
and how
yeah.
it can get out of control. And I admitted that I tried to bribe an officer of the law by buying him a Starbucks because I thought I was going to get pulled over.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's still so.
And he did not
And
pull you over, in
he
fact.
didn't, so it worked. Or maybe he was just going to Starbucks too. And either way, I did a potentially good deed. Although I think you had told me like a lot of times they get it for free anyway. So, it's kind of like we recently were
Or at least
in
a discount.
yeah, we recently were both in a restaurant, and we didn't realize that the tip was on each of our bills, and we tipped, and the service wasn't that great.
I didn't know you
I'm not even
tipped
gonna say.
too.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I didn't realize it because
You
I was
guys,
also giving cash, which I don't usually do, and I was just like, yeah, you throw the tip in there, and then
I'll tell
some
y'all
other
all
people
my
told me.
business right now. Okay,
Uh-oh.
we went to this restaurant real quick. We went to this restaurant. I had eaten just before I went, so I wasn't going to the restaurant to eat. I wasn't hungry anymore. I was like, okay, well, I'm just here for the vibes. It was my brother's birthday. I'm just gonna get a couple drinks and like carry on with my night.
I get my bill and it's $44. One of those margaritas was on happy hour, which later on I realized that everyone else like got their margaritas, all their margaritas on happy hour, but that's because they got food.
Oh, got you.
I
So
think.
yeah, probably.
So she was like trying to be nicer about it.
Yeah.
I got one of mine on happy hour because like you couldn't deny it. I was there for happy hour. The other two, it was past 6 o'clock, so I didn't get those on happy hour.
See, here's the pro tip: order all 3 at once. If you think you're gonna, or if you think you're gonna want 2, order them right away. Especially if you're close to the end of happy hour.
Literally. Yeah. Sometimes they won't let you do that though. Maybe. Well, I don't know. But
maybe.
Worth a shot. $44.
Wow.
It was tip included. Because at first I was like, dang, 3 margaritas for $40? That's crazy.
Yeah.
I also tipped like $10 extra outside of that. And it was all cash.
I mean, what I tipped would have been, this is also another discussion we had in a different episode that was on the ridiculousness of people expecting tips for like the dentist's office. But anyway, I tipped what would have been a low tip.
Yeah.
But they had already put a 20% tip on there, so I was overly generous. So
you are.
But here's that discussion of paying it forward.
Have you ever had the experience though where you go there and they tell you the person in front of you, paid for yours, and you're like, oh, well, let me get the guy behind me. But then you ask, well, wait, how much is the guy behind me? Because I was gonna spend $8 because we were buying 2 coffees.
Yeah.
But if the guy behind me was buying them for like a whole office. Yeah. Then that's, suddenly, and that's what happened was the guy in front of us got ours, and I was like, well, okay, let me get the guy behind me. How much is his? Yeah. And I think ours was going to be 8. I think it's always like $8.45. Well, his was 17, and I said, we just, your mom and I kind of looked at each other and said, yeah, we'll get it, and we realized
felt bad being like
the guy in front of us, good deed, cost me more money. Because I didn't want to be the one, to stop the pay it forward chain. I never want to be like, okay. I would feel like such a jerk if I looked behind me and I did have one time where we went and somebody did that and there was nobody behind me. So it was like actually, okay, well, I'm not going to say I'll get the next person because they're not here.
Okay. So after working at a place that people would do that at, I always looked at it like, and I love the pay it forward idea. I do. I think it's so nice to, pay for somebody's whatever. Like I would love to one time like just be in the grocery store and like pay for the person's groceries like in front or behind me or whatever.
Oh yeah, we always said if we ever hit the lottery, we'd love to walk through like a Walmart or a Target around Christmas and look for somebody who was like shopping for their kids.
Yeah.
And just pay for it for them.
But
or go in and pay off a bunch of people's layaways because if somebody's putting Christmas on layaway. Yeah, some stores. Well, I don't know.
Kmart
there were stores that were still doing it. I think Walmart does it again. I don't know. I don't go there often.
But I also feel like the pay it forward situation. Maybe this is an unpopular opinion as well.
There we are.
Actually, but because I love the concept of it of I'm in front of you at the drive-thru. Oh hey, get the guy behind me's order. Like he's by himself. Like hopefully he's just getting
right.
not ordering for the whole office and costing me $50 in coffee. But if so, whatever. I'm doing a good deed. So I think I hate it when it's just like a chain though.
Right.
Because now that one good deed to like me pay for your coffee behind me now is turning into like, and you're paying it for the person. Like nobody's getting it free except now the last person in the line.
That's it. I was like, that last guy once though. No, see, you're
who's
assuming
like, nah, my coffee's $2. Their order's $50. I'm not trying to do that today.
That's what I was gonna say.
I didn't come here to go do it.
There's somebody in that chain. Potentially, there is somebody in that chain that that says, "No, I'm okay, thanks," and they just drive off. They're not saying, "No, I'm not paying it forward." They're just going, "Oh, wow, great, thanks," and they're taking their coffee and going. Mm-hmm. And I don't. This might be an unpopular opinion because there are probably a lot of people who would think that person's a bad person, and I don't think they're a bad person. I think
no, we always got it. Like anytime that I would be there and people would do it, and the person who would be like, "Oh no," like people would ask all the time, "Oh, how much is the order behind me?" Yeah. And then you tell them and it would be significantly more than theirs and they'd be like, nah, not today.
Yeah.
I feel like, that person might do it another time, but we as like even as a worker there, you're like, yeah, I get it. Like
Yeah.
your coffee's $4. I wouldn't want to spend more than
Yeah.
I came here to
Yeah,
spend
you
anyways.
went there to get a coffee, and the person behind you is getting it for like
Yeah.
6 people. Yeah, that's silly.
Yeah.
Then I have one other like sort of related story. There was one
Mhm.
time where we were going into a Starbucks drive-through, and I noticed that there was a police car like following me, and I didn't know if I had maybe not stopped long enough at a stop sign,
Mhm.
or had been going a little bit over the speed limit or something. But he was following me for a little while, and when we turned into Starbucks, I'm like, oh, he's definitely gonna pull me over, and I think your mom had even said that, like, oh, you kind of rolled through that stop sign back
Ugh,
there or
my
something
heart
like
would
that. So
sink.
yeah, so I was nearly sure this guy was going to pull me over. So we got into the line, and he didn't turn the lights on yet. Uh, and so we got in the line, and we ordered, and we get up to the window, and he's still behind me, and I don't know if this prevented him from pulling me over, but I said, let me get the coffee for the officer behind me too. So I paid it
Oh,
forward to the cop. But it was,
that's
I mean, it was
nice.
almost like a bribe, though. I feel like it might have been a subliminal bribe to be like, because I didn't get pulled over. So I don't know if I was supposed to get pulled over and that prevented it, or, if it was just.
So, you were trying to do a good deed there, and we love that.
Right.
But it also reminds me of the episode when we were talking about like the thought that counts and how the ridiculousness around it of it's your birthday and I don't show up with a gift, but I thought about getting you a gift. I just didn't make it around to you.
Right.
And I'm sorry about that, but I really did think about getting you movie tickets. I just forgot. But I
Yeah.
thought about you for a second.
Yeah.
So does like that counts,
Yeah,
right?
that's the
Like
thought.
cuz I
It's
was
the
thinking
thought
about
because
it.
that's the saying. It's the thought that counts.
It's the
Yeah.
thought that counts.
Yeah.
Sorry, I
Here's
didn't get you anything here.
yeah. Here's that discussion.
I feel
Free
like
advice,
I know.
okay?
I feel like this was our least funny episode that we've done.
This
So
one.
I
Do
should
you
have
want to like
saved.
tell a couple
I
jokes at the end to
I
end
didn't
it
save
out?
any dad jokes for the end, or
Oh,
no. Although, you know,
you
what
made
did-
a
what-
dad
what-
joke in the
What did
beginning.
I keep? No, the other day we went to brunch with Nana and JoJo,
Uh-huh.
and there was something that I told JoJo I was thinking about bringing for her or something like that, but then I didn't. I said, but they say it's the thought that counts, so you're welcome. It's the thought that counts, so you're
Because
welcome.
you thought about it, but you
Yeah,
didn't bring
I
it.
thought about it, but I didn't do it. So
Oh,
that's gonna be
awesome.
my new motto, though. Like, yeah, when the holidays come or somebody's
You
birthday,
don't get anyone's present.
yeah, I thought about getting you this really nice thing, but I didn't. But I thought about it, and it's the thought that counts, so you're welcome. So that's
Oh,
that's the
so
thought for
funny.
the day.
See, that's a funny part to end on.
So I think one of the things we've had a few discussions, and we still haven't done this episode, but it's been of my made up facts
Yeah.
that I
Oh.
don't think they're made up, but I also don't. They're pieces of information that I have no idea why I have the knowledge or where I got the knowledge.
Or who
or
told
if
you
it's
these
even
facts?
knowledge or if it's something that I've just assumed. But we've had a few episodes where we've talked about the fact that I just come out with information that I assume is correct, and it may be a made up fact. And at some point I want to do a whole episode of things that I believe to be true that I have no reason to know if they're true. But
It's like Modern Family when Phil he has his big book of
yeah,
philosophies.
philosophies. PHI. Well,
PHIL, yeah.
philosophy is spelled
Oh,
that
true.
way. Ooh.
But like philosophies.
Yeah, Phil.
Yours
in
would
his
be
name.
like, Mike's
Yeah.
facts.
Mike's facts. Yeah, that's something like that. So, but here's one of those discussions of made up facts.
There was this thing about bread, and I think it was like an Italian or something, like someone from Italy. They or Paris or one of those places that's really big on bread.
One of those places where they eat a lot of bread.
They came out and they were because they came to the US or something, and they were amazed at how in the United States we have bread, like first of all just how we serve our bread in general, but the fact that we just buy bread at the grocery store and then keep it in our home for like
A month. Yeah.
like more than a couple days,
Yeah.
like shook about it. And it was because over there, they don't do that. They make
Yeah.
you like
Like
you're
daily. Like they get fresh bread at the
You're-
beginning of the day and they're eating that bread that day.
yeah,
that
like
kind of
you're
thing.
not
Yeah.
you're not keeping bread in your house for longer than 2 days. And that's mostly also because
Where
like
do
it's
you
going
think-
bad after that.
I'm pretty
many
sure that's
days.
where like things like French toast came from, because
Oh,
the bread that
right.
wasn't used, they were soaking it in eggs and cooking it to be able to use it. It was
'Cause it's
literally
like 2 days old or
yeah, because it
whatever.
was the bread from yesterday.
Yeah.
I've just realized though that I say a lot of things on here that I just think are true, and I have no basis to know that it's true.
You're convincing
So,
though, because I
yeah.
would believe you.
Yeah, I got to
You
start
say
coming up
it-
with some good
you
good
say it
ones
like
to
you
just
really
make
know.
stuff up and see if anybody calls me out on it.
That should be your thing, like
Yeah.
just saying
Just
facts as if
make-
they're facts
right.
if they're not facts.
Right. Why not? I mean, Lord knows that doesn't happen on the internet
I
at all,
think I-
does it? No.
I think I did hear that somewhere.
Yeah, I
Probably from you.
I believe. Yeah, it was when you were a child. I told you back then.
So, another one of mine that is a fact is our discussion on modern day children slang,
Oh,
which, I had fun talking about. And again, like, even since then, I've still constantly obviously heard it. And it's funny hearing, the skibbity riz things,
Yeah.
terms,
Yeah.
just because, like, I don't think my generation, like, I'm still standing on it. I don't think my generation had, like,
just made
crazy,
up
silly
words.
words like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I don't either. Like, I don't think like. I mean, I guess diss, but diss was really a shortened form of disrespect. You know what I mean?
Oh, that makes
why
sense.
are you gonna diss me?
But, like, skibbity riz,
Yeah,
I mean, I guess
those are
they're
just
saying,
made
like,
up words.
riz is charisma.
Right.
But,
Yeah.
like, I don't know. I just feel like
Yeah.
I've heard it used
stop
in
making
many
up words.
conversations since then. And, like,
Wow, that's
oh,
that's
yeah,
insane.
that's skibbity.
I've heard it 0 times, so I must be hanging out with a different crowd than you do.
Yeah, you do.
But right here is that discussion.
This is the word. Well, this combined with
It's-
another word is the one that honestly stimulated my brain for this idea, and it's skibbity. And
Can you
when-
spell that?
So, ooh, we should
Can you
have a
can you
spelling
use it in
bee
a
episode.
can you use it
That would be
in a
so
sentence?
Okay, so skibbity, when I heard it, they were using, Riz is also on this list. And when I heard children using it, they were saying skibbity Riz, which
Wow, Okay.
sounds so ridiculous.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
Well,
but it sounds
and looking at
ridiculous.
the definitions of both of them too, it makes no sense. Because skibbity, it says a term used to describe something that's bad,
Oh,
and then riz is
right.
a term used to describe someone's charm, swag, or ability to attract others.
So if I say that you're skibbity Riz, that means that you have no game.
Oh, okay,
Skibbity Riz.
okay, I got it. So it's like, okay,
And
Okay.
Riz, I found out, is short
just-
for
I find that I'm already
Charisma.
waiting for whatever the next generation
Riz.
slang terms is. I'm already sick of these ones.
Riz.
It took 3. It took getting to the 3rd for me to be like, nope, I'm out.
Riz is short for charisma. I know I found that out.
Okay, that makes sense. Skibbity makes
So-
no sense.
Skibbity, I don't know where they got that. That's bad.
Yeah, I don't either.
Skibbity doodah.
So one of the ones I thought was kind of a fun episode was when we played. Gosh, I can't remember the name of the game now. We played the card game with the pictures that we had to.
Oh, this or that. Would you rather?
Would you rather? Thank you. Yeah, and we realized playing the game that like the cards had pictures of little stick figures doing the different things. But and
Yeah.
one of the funny ones on that one was where the person, it was like you either had to always pour gas on yourself at the gas pump or you had to always forget and leave the thing in the gas pump, and we talked about that
Oh yeah.
that video that I had seen where the guy was following the lady and she had the gas pump hanging out of her tank, and here's that clip.
But still, I mean, how many times are you gonna drive off with the gas
How about,
pump before
how
they're
about this
like,
question?
yo,
How many times did that happen before they decided we need to design these gas pumps so that it detaches easily? You know what? I saw a video, and I only believe about 50% of what I see on videos on, like, Instagram and that. But it was this guy following a girl, and finally she pulls over and she goes back and starts yelling at the guy, and what are you doing? Why are you following me? And all that. And I guess he was trying to get her attention the whole time because she had the hose and the handle, just like on the picture here, hanging out of her car, hanging out of the thing. And he was trying to tell her that she did that. Well, the way she reacted tells me that she might be this person, because she just looked up, looked at the thing, she went, ah, grabbed it, pulled it out of the thing, threw it in her back seat, and drove off.
nah.
Yeah. So
She got a collection of them at
I
home.
kind of felt like that wasn't the first time that's happened. But I'm gonna answer. As much as I would hate it, I would rather get gasoline all over myself than be that girl.
Like, Dad, why do you smell like gas again?
Yeah. I had Taco Bell for lunch.
Gross.
So, speaking of that game, I liked the one where when we were talking about what was it, scuba feet or bobbleheads?
Oh
if
yeah,
had
you could
to.
either have feet that were like scuba fins or a
Uh-huh.
bobblehead.
Or a
And which you would
bobblehead.
prefer?
Yeah, that one. Again, both terrible. And I guess that's the point of Would You Rather, right? Like, it's not
Yeah.
really one better than the other, because then, if I could have normal feet or a bobbling head, I'm going to choose regular feet.
Yeah.
But, like, you're
Right.
choosing the less of
Yeah,
two
it-
evils, I guess.
Yeah, that whole game in general was fun because it's all these odd scenarios that, like, what
Not realistic.
in what world would I have to pick between those?
Yeah.
By the
All
shark.
right. Hey, speaking of which, would you rather have scuba fins for feet or have a bobblehead?
A bobblehead?
Yeah, like your head just a bobblehead. Like so when you're walking around with a bobblehead, you're just always, how's it going? It would kind of look like that you were listening to really, jamming
God.
music.
I can't really hide any of those.
No.
Ooh, I hate
I-
both of them.
I don't want to influence your answer, so I won't give you my thoughts.
Scuba fins for feet sounds crazy.
Where are you gonna buy shoes? Well, you don't have to buy shoes because they're scuba fins. They're already shoes.
But also, how embarrassing to walk
Yeah.
around with my head bobbling all the time.
Yeah.
Gosh. Maybe a bobblehead.
Bobblehead.
I think I would choose bobblehead because at least there's moments where I could like just be steady. Like, it's
you walk
mostly when
around and
I'm
put your hands
walking.
on your head just so you can keep it steady.
Wear like a heavy hat or
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
Like I
yeah.
feel like I could
You could
figure
control
it
it.
out. Like if I'm laying down, like I look like a normal person. If I'm on the couch relaxing, I could just like
See, I would pick the scuba fins because at least there's like function to it. Like if I've got scuba fins for feet, then I'm gonna be a great swimmer.
yeah, but
There's no practical use for having a bobblehead.
you gotta make swimming
Like,
your
I guess
personality.
the only time that having a bobblehead is good when you agree with someone, because then you'd be nodding your head.
True. They'll be like,
Or
why is she
if there's
shaking your
really
head
good
for so
music
long?
on, you'd just be.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Then the music stops and you're still going. And people are like, "Music stopped.
And then you gotta be
What's
like,
wrong with you?"
huh, that was fun.
That was fun. I enjoyed that. And then, like for me, outside of some of those, specific moments, I think just I thought a fun one that we did was the audience fun facts,
Mhm.
where we were talking about like different things around the world. and how they like kind of the traditions around the world, because we are currently anyway in like 8 countries now, which is just insane. I was looking at our and I'll drop a little bit of that episode right after this, but I was looking at some of our statistics, and our listenership. I think India was number 2 after the U.S., and I
Oh
think
wow.
Great Britain and Indonesia have actually jumped up. So that's interesting to me, because it says, oh, are people continuing to listen there, and they just
Are you
didn't
guys sending it to your
happen to,
friends?
yeah, they didn't happen to hear us by accident, and then switched away. So that I
Oh,
thought that was interesting. That made me feel good.
that is interesting.
Okay, German is a Germanic language with a complex history. I guess that's about the language. It doesn't tell me much about that complex history. It just
It's
says
just
that it has one.
it just sounds like I'm
It's like
talking about
somebody,
Germany.
yeah, yeah. It's
It
like
sounds like something I'd say.
uh,
It's
bread.
complicated.
Germans love bread and its many varieties, and
Yeah, we
UNESCO
do.
recognizes this as an important part of German culture.
Mm,
Huh, interesting.
that makes sense.
Germany has over 7,500 beer brands, and at least one new beer is launched each week. Again, huh?
7,500
Yeah,
beer
it
brands.
seems like there should be a correlation there between the bread and the beer, since they share common ingredients.
In our next episode, guys, we'll be going through all 7,500
Yeah, we'll
of
be
the beer
sampling
brands.
each, and since there's a new one launched each week, depending on how long from now that is, there may
With
be more
bread. With
with
bread.
some bread. Oh,
Thanks.
Berlin has more.
That was my last one.
That's the last one she had. Wow. So, um, let's see. We did our adult spelling bee. That was kind of a
Oh,
fun
that
episode.
was fun.
Yeah. We learned that we
Honestly,
learned actually, I think that we're not as bad at spelling as we think we are,
but like
but not
also
as good as we
kind
should be.
exactly. We're not as bad as we thought we were because we use spell check all the time, but also should probably read more books.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And do we really need to be? It's like being good at math. Do you really need to be good at spelling anymore, because computers? Let's face it, the AI is all going to take over anyway, and we won't have to think. We'll just have robots pick up our garbage.
No, I liked the adult spelling bee. I want to
Yeah,
do more of those.
that was a good one.
Honestly,
Yeah, that I'd like to do that again too.
all of our game times in general are just really fun to me.
Yeah.
I really enjoy our game
So
times.
one I do want to do again, and you had said this too, is the Family Feud, and see if we can come up with a little twist of it. From what we were doing.
Yeah.
Ooh, can you see that? Look at that purple light. This is
wow.
our new soundboard. Look at that purple
Yeah.
light coming off it. I can change the color.
It's adding good vibes.
No, watch. Well, I don't want to mess with the buttons now, but
Oh, you can't change the
yeah,
color?
you can make it. Yeah, that you press that button, it changes the color.
Oh.
But I'm also scared if I press that button, it'll affect the sound. So.
True.
And then more recently, we had some episodes where we talked about. We spent a lot of episodes recently towards the end of the year talking about Christmas traditions, Christmas movie
Yeah.
trivia, the 12 Days of Christmas. That was also a
12
fun
Days of Christmas
episode.
was
Yeah,
a
that
fun
was a really fun
one.
episode.
That was fun.
Yeah. Just the whole craziness of the math.
I really liked our Thanksgiving,
Oh yeah,
our Thanksgiving episode.
the Thanksgiving traditions,
Where we
or
talked
the
about-
Thanksgiving Would You Rather?
I
Because
mean,
that one was also kind of
that one was
crazy.
fun. But I like the Thanksgiving tradition ones.
Yeah.
That one was really nice.
Yeah, I enjoyed both of the traditions ones, and
Mhm.
not to get too much in the weeds, but those also had a decent number of plays. So that
Oh.
tells me maybe we do more of those, because if people are enjoying those ones. Also, something interesting that we discovered this year, because our primary platform that we publish to, again, not to get too into the weeds, but is Spotify. And then we're also available on other platforms, including YouTube. And I've noticed that we have a significant part of our audience that sees us, hears us through YouTube. So that was
Yeah.
kind of interesting to me too. So
Yeah.
if you got us on YouTube, welcome and thank you.
And it's more fun on the visual
Yeah,
one, y'all.
it is. If you're
You get
not
to
if
see
you're not
us.
watching, you should go. And if you're listening in your car, you can't always do that, because it's not safe to watch YouTube in the car.
True.
But
So wait till you get home.
yeah, wait till you get home. Do what I do. Put a good video podcast on, or ours, um, while you're on the treadmill. Something to distract you.
I always watch
So.
something if I'm like working out on cardio. Some people can't,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
to me, like when I'd be on the elliptical, like I'm just pumping away, like
Oh yeah. The
deep
the thing
into.
for me, the reason I think things like podcasts and that kind of thing are good too, for when you're doing that is,
Mhm.
um, it's not like watching regular TV where there's like, minute long commercials in the middle of it,
Mhm.
which makes it makes the time go slower when I'm watching commercials. I don't know
It's
why
literally
that is
just
for me.
background noise. I put
Yeah.
podcasts on for everything.
Mhm.
I put podcasts on for everything. If I'm cleaning the house,
Yeah.
I got a podcast on. If
So-
I'm folding laundry, well, actually, I guess I usually watch something about folding laundry.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah. Podcasts are great. But I hope you enjoyed some of these little clips from this year. And if you did, if you had a favorite like moment that we didn't talk about, maybe we didn't talk so much about the more recent ones because they just happened. But
Yeah.
we're more about remembering some of the earlier episodes. We did have 20, I think it was 29 episodes because we started in the middle of the year and we got to a point where
Crazy.
we were originally doing one a week and we're doing 2 a week now. So we'll see how many we get to in season 2, which starts next week.
Oh wait, you
So-
guys. Hold on, I want to show you. I want to show y'all something funny. Hopefully, this motivates some of you guys who are just listening to the visual. At least hop or the audio. At least hop over to the visual for this moment, please. Dad, lean back.
Okay, wait.
Lean back. Y'all, look how giant I look right now to him. Like, this shows the wall. I don't think it's that far behind us, but like, look at how far he is. And then I was telling him that that's how they filmed Elf. Remember with like Papa Elf?
Yeah.
That's how they filmed it. They put the guy who played Papa Elf far back. They put Will Ferrell in the, closer to the camera, and then they used some little kid's feet or something, and that's what was the elf's feet,
It's where you're talking about the scene like where he's sitting on his
where
lap.
he's sitting on his
Oh,
lap.
that's hilarious.
That's how he looked
That-
so much bigger than Papa Elf in that
looking
scene.
at how tiny I looked back there, I didn't want to talk while I was back there because the microphone wouldn't have picked it up very well.
Yeah.
But looking at how I looked when I was back there, I could totally see that. See, but wait, you don't look as tiny as I did. What the heck?
And we're
I
like
think
the
my
same
seat's
size
further
here.
forward. Yeah, I think my
Oh
seat's
yeah,
further
my
forward.
seats.
So when you're leaning back, you're not leaning back as far. I'm basically going back to the wall.
yeah, I wasn't
Yeah.
doing that. But
Okay.
isn't that so funny?
was-
He
that
was
was
doing
funny.
that
So
when
if
we were
you
getting
didn't-
set up.
And,
I was
and
like,
that discussion will now be in the best of for next year. So
because
if
we're
you
in
didn't-
2025 now.
woohoo! Welcome to it. All right, thanks for checking in. Thanks for watching us this year. We hope you enjoyed this, and yeah, give us a comment or message us on one of the platforms.
Say
We'd love
hi.
to hear from you.
Bye, y'all.